Producer Joe here from the Working Fans Podcast. And at the Working Fans Podcast, this is just a podcast that three lifelong fans created to have a place to talk comedy and pro wrestling. Now, our comedy podcast releases every Tuesday, while our wrestling podcast releases every Thursday. We release bonus episodes under the moniker Working Fans Presents every now and then. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, any major podcast provider. The important thing is just please like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to us. Now, we have started a new thing. We are now on Amazon and Audible. So those episodes release every Monday. And that's kind of going through the archives and just releasing our old episodes into new areas. So if you want to live through the process with us again, take that journey with us again, you can find us over on Amazon and Audible. Now, if you can't get enough of us in the audio form, check out our YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Working Fans Wrestling Pod, or just search Working Fans Podcast on YouTube. We have the whole archive is up there. And if you listen to the Working Fans Podcast, you are more than familiar with the 531. That is our signature segment where we take your top 5 lists on a particular subject, vote it down to a top 3, and then debate it down to a top 1. Now, guys, if you want to hear 3 guys talk shit about comedy, wrestling, life, anything, you will enjoy the Working Fans Podcast. Fans, welcome back for Working Fans Comedycast, episode 36. This week, we are doing a 531 on top Leslie Nielsen movies. Let us know in the comments what your favorite Leslie Nielsen movie is, because fucked if we know. Dave, I got to be honest with you. There's some weeks we come in here, we know we're going to kill it. This week, I think, is one of those weeks where we're going to be doing a little heavy lifting, man. It's going to be a little more personality and a little less list this week, I feel.
Yeah, bro. We talked about this last night. All right. So,
yeah, fuck Leslie Nielsen. I remember the tag.
So, Leslie Nielsen is the topic this week, top 5 movies. And I'm guessing by me and Joe's reaction that Chevy was the one who picked this category. Sorry, Chevy, when you hear this. But Joe was talking to me last night, and he's like, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of lists. And he's like, I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm like, I'll be honest, I was just planning on telling everybody how much I hated Leslie Nielsen. And then me and Joe realized that neither one of us were fans. But we got some people's list, and we owe it to them to fucking do this. So.
Well, I mean, I guess I would put it as much as it's not that I'm not a fan. I just haven't watched a ton of his stuff. I've seen him in movies.
Sure. I'm
like, oh, that's Leslie Nielsen. Like, I know he's funny. He's just not like a Jim Carrey or somebody like that I would seek out.
Yeah, I remember seeing him as a kid. I wasn't really too interested in him. I didn't really like the style of comedy he did, I think. I thought he ruined my SummerSlam 94. I didn't enjoy that. No. Oh, sorry. I'm dying. I'm sorry, Leslie.
Yeah, the text last night was Leslie Nielsen is bitch me, I think was the last one I got.
Something about, he ain't shit. Never was. Fuck that little guy he had running around with him in all those Naked Gun movies. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know his name. AJ would know it. That fat motherfucker. He was flying around with him. But
all right. So before we really desecrate the name of Leslie Nielsen, I actually looked up a little bit of information on him because I didn't just want it to be a bunch of movies we weren't familiar with. So I found a New York Times article written shortly after he died, born February 11th, 1926. If he had just held on one more day, we could have shared the same birthday. He was born in Saskatchewan.
Oh.
Saskatchewan,
Saskatchewan.
grew up in Edmonton. He debuted in radio in Calgary. He debuted on TV on the CBS Actors Studio, and his first film was in 1956. He had like 30 years of dramatic and romantic roles before he became a comedic actor that me and Dave gave two fucks about. Now, some people that did give a fuck about Leslie Nielsen are Mike Shannon from the Mothership Facebook group, who had Naked Gun, I'm going to assume one, Airplane, Naked Gun 33 and a third, Dracula Dead and Loving It, and Spy Hard.
Yeah. So, kind of cool. He's from Canada, I guess. Saskatchewan. That's where Bret Hart won the world title. That meant something to me. That was his first WWE with Ric Flair. But it's a comedy cast. So I guess what I'm saying is cool. Let me just say this about Leslie Nielsen before we go on. All right. I'm not telling you the guy's not talented at what he does. I just don't care about what he does. And I don't have any interest in it. So, for the people that really love this and they're going to be like so happy, they're like, oh, Leslie Nielsen films, this is great. And you really like it. That's cool. That's what I got to say. That's cool.
I didn't realize you came here to cry today.
Yeah. You call it Leslie Nielsen. I call it Saturday. We're recording this on a Saturday. So, why don't I go to Michael Caldwell? He gave us a list, and I was happy he did. I actually asked Mike Flynn for a list, and Mike Flynn said, I'm not a fan. No. Which just should have been the key that something was going to be up. But anyway, we know our audience, but Michael Caldwell, he was nice enough to send us a list. Dracula Dead and Loving It, Naked Gun, Airplane, Spy Hard, Police Squad. I don't know if that was a dramatic film or a TV series.
I think that was a TV series that might have been the start of his comedic run.
That's what I thought. Now, I did notice Naked Gun, Airplane, and Spy Hard all got mentioned again. So we'll keep that in mind because that's the best we can do for these guys.
Chris Zauha from the Mothership Facebook group really had the heart of the matter here. He has Naked Gun, Creep Show, and number 3, I Don't Care. I wanted to take that too because Creep Show would probably be the only one I'd put on a list.
I didn't know he was in Creep Show. I want to check that out. So that's kind of funny. Jesse from New Hampshire, Airplane, Naked Gun, Spy Hard, and that's about it. Always felt all his movies are the same. LOL. You can leave me off or just put my partial list. I don't care either way. Jesse, I quoted that because I felt that really represented what we were going into this week. So, no worries.
Yeah, now I've got Dan Titus from the Mothership Facebook group. He's got Forbidden Planet, Repossessed, Naked Gun. Oh, I got Naked Gun again. Probably Naked Gun 2.
Yeah,
and Spy Hard. I mean, it really doesn't fucking matter this week. If you're here because you like us. And you got suckered in with Leslie Nielsen movies. This is a bait and switch. We are sorry.
Yeah.
I guess Leslie Nielsen. I mean, he was a great actor. He really he was the middle part of all those movies he was in. I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You know how they say there's like there's like that Twitter audience, that vocal minority, but in the big scheme of things, they're not really a big representation. That's probably us. We just happen to be that group, like,
And it's one of those things, like, we rarely talk about something we don't like, or if we don't like it, we try and find a positive. But I think the only positive about this is I was never a Naked Gun fan. I'm sure Airplane is funny. Spy Hard's got to be great. We heard Dame shit on Dracula Dead and Loving It a couple weeks ago. Ruined Mel Brooks' career.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd be interested maybe if I watch these movies now, maybe with a different eye, as I'm older. I don't care enough to do it. So fuck them.
Yeah,
Randy
because there's
Osgood.
so much stuff out there now that it's like,
Yeah.
what, we
Yeah,
can go back and check Leslie Nielsen
I ain't
movies
got
just to
nothing
feel
else better
better
to
for
do with my
ourselves.
fucking day. Go check out Naked Gun 2.5. I'll be
What,
all
you
right.
guys gonna make Dave play Leslie Nielsen movies on his phone on the passenger seat of the bread truck? That could only lead to trouble.
It's not happened. I've been pulled over once already for this, and it wasn't for Leslie Nielsen films. You leave that to your imagination. Banana in the tailpipe. All right. I got Randy Osgood here with a list. He's got Airplane, The Naked Gun from the Files of the Police Squad. Okay.
Yep, that's the first one.
All right. Spy Hard, Wrongfully Accused, Surf Ninja, and Nuts. Okay. So Randy had a list and he seemed content. So good for him.
Actually, I should have read you Albert Bettis's list first from the Mothership Facebook group because he's such a fan of the Naked Gun movies. We got the proper titles.
Huh.
His number one, The Naked Gun from the Files of the Police Squad. The second one, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, until you hear episode 36 of the Working Fans Comedycast. Airplane, and Spy Hard.
Yeah, we got some insults here. Yeah. Anyway, that's a list. So going on to Scott from Voluntown. He wrote Airplane, Creepshow, even though it's neither a comedy nor a starring role, the Naked Gun films. So he just left it at that. I'm going to say those last three will round up his list.
1, 2, and 3, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So that's 5. You got anything else?
Harry Priest from the Mothership Facebook group. He's got the Naked Gun 1, the Naked Gun 2, the Naked Gun 3, Airplane, and I bet if there was a Naked Gun 4 that would be on this, but since Leslie Nielsen left us too soon, he has Spy Hard.
That's too bad. Yeah, I got a list from Zach St. John, who's going to probably be upset when he hears this episode because he wrote, love him. I'm glad you did that. I thought he fucked up SummerSlam 94. I reiterate that from the beginning of the podcast and now. Zach will talk about that. All right, he's got Naked Gun, Airplane, Dracula, Dead and Loving It, Naked Gun 2.5 or 2.5. And he's got Repossessed, which I think I might have seen part of. I think it's a parody of The Exorcist film.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I gotta go see it today.
Might have been somewhat even funny. So, and I got one more list after this, so I don't know what you got.
Let me hit you with 3 in a row then. These are all from the Mothership Facebook group.
God bless the Mothership Facebook group.
They turned out for this.
Thank God.
Naked Gun, Creepshow, The Poseidon Adventure, Dracula Dead and Loving It, and Repossessed with cameos by Jesse Ventura and Gene Okerlund, just to bring it around to the wrestling side.
I actually remember that. Yeah, during like something when she's flipping out, they just popped up randomly. All right, that's good. I'll give him that.
Notice how we saw the least glimmer of care in Dave's eyes. It's like he came to life for a minute, but he's going to be dead on Bed Rich's list because it's Naked Gun 1, Naked Gun 2, Naked Gun 3, Scary Movie, Airplane, fucking amazing. James Castillo's got a list. Naked Gun 1, Naked Gun 2, Scary Movie 3, Airplane, and what the fuck is Surf Ninjas? Is Surf Ninjas that good a movie that it would be one of Leslie Nielsen's best? I feel like Jonathan Taylor Thomas takes center role in this.
Couple things. One, Scary Movie was okay. That was funny. I don't remember Leslie Nielsen being in the original one. I thought he was in late, but whatever.
Apparently he was in 1 and 3.
No shit. I just remember there was the scene.
We don't care enough to fact check you, so lie to us. We could give you shits.
So apparently, no, not apparently. So there was I think it's Scary Movie 2, actually, though. The Wayans brothers. I think it's maybe Marlon.
Okay.
There's a part I always remember when the murder had just happened, and they're like, they have like the reporters up to him, and they ask, "Were you close to the lady?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was pretty close, But then the roofie started wearing off, so I pulled my tongue out her ass and I got the hell out of there. And that has always been one of my favorite lines from a movie. So I don't remember Leslie Nielsen being in that, but that shit was funny. That brought me some smiles.
All right, well, I'm going to bring you Mike Phillips, the last list I got from the Rockin' Randy's Rockin' Wrestling Group. He's got Naked Gun, Airplane, Creep Show, Viva Knievel, and Forbidden Planet.
All right, well, I'm going to give you Chevy, friend of the show, part of the show.
We're sorry, Chevy.
Combat Cast. He had Dracula Dead and Loving It, Airplane, Naked Gun, Surf Ninjas, Naked Gun 33 and a third, and not a comedy, but he was great in it, Forbidden Planet. So
I've heard Naked Gun a lot.
Yeah, let's just get right to it. Guys, we'll try to get an interview with this show
Airplane.
this week too. I think the best thing we could do is just go Naked Gun, Naked Gun 2. And instead of going
and
for Naked
Surf
Gun
Ninjas.
I was going to say throw an Airplane.
Yeah, give it to Airplane, but
and hey,
this is going to be a rare time. You hear the music. You know what that means.
Fuck them. That's why.
Yeah, we don't got an answer. Get at us in the comments. And if you don't like the way we treated Leslie Nielsen, well, that's on you, homie. You like us. We didn't come to you with this. We just put it out in the ether, and you stumbled into this. So we'll see you next week when we talk top 5 hilariously bad horror movies. That's how bad Leslie Nielsen was. I forgot to mention hilariously bad horror movies at the top of the show. What the fuck?